Hi guys and welcome to our customer service training. I'm going to go over today here the customer service flow and the chart so you guys can see exactly what happens here throughout the entire move process. That way you have a better understanding. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to get a pen and paper so you guys can write down some notes here because I'm going to give you guys in between in every department that the move goes through a little bit of notes to keep in mind. That will be very helpful. We're going to go ahead and start here where everything begins, which is in the sales department. What happens in the sales department is the booking agents call these customers based on the information they have provided on the website. And they build an order for service based on a number of items that the customers give to the booking agents. After the booking agents get that order for service together, they send it to the customer, and the customer goes ahead and signs off on it, saying that everything is what they've agreed, and then it goes to our QA department. Our QA department makes sure that the job is properly booked and everything is properly charged. If there's any problems, it goes back to sales. They have to fix that, call the customer again, and resend it back for approval. If it gets approved, then it goes over to our department where we take care of the customer from now on. Now keep in mind, we do a welcome call to inform the customer that we are the designated department from now on with anything regarding the move. Because sales are constantly calling customers to book jobs, they don't necessarily have the time to call every customer back every day. However, we can guide them through most of their questions unless it's changes in the order, which we cannot do in customer service. Other than that, this welcome call is to once again let the customer know we are the designated department. Once we've done the welcome call, we send the customer an email with all our information, their booking agent's information, and the job goes and it gets assigned to a Linkit card and to our Moving Pro system. Okay, let's say for example, moving on, if the move is in about 2 months, sometimes customers book in advance because they think booking in advance it's a cheaper rate, which in many cases it is, but the jobs are based on the amount of items and the distance that the job is going. When we are in this pre-move contact stage, this is for us to call the customer and let them know that we're still here, and if they have any questions, we can go ahead and answer them. And this is basically to let the customer know that we are on top of it and we are here to help the customer. Okay, 4 days before the move, we actually do a prep call. A prep call is a preparation call to make sure that everything in the order is correct. And in case there's any changes that need to be done, they get done 4 days before the move so that the crew has all the proper information. If the customer wants to make changes to the order or to the inventory, then we send it back to sales for revisions of inventory or whatever it is that they need to make changes of, destination, pickup, whatever it is. Okay. The day of pickup, we do a pickup live. The purpose for this pickup live call is to talk to the customer to make sure that everything's going well, make sure they understand everything that they're signing, make sure that they understand if there's any additional cost, how the additional costs were added on there, and make sure that there is no confusion the day of pickup from there on. Okay? After the items have been picked up, 7 days after the job has been picked up, we do our first follow-up. After 7 days, if the customer doesn't have an address or doesn't have a first available delivery date or they've requested delivery, then we go ahead and send them a ready for delivery form to make sure that they tell us what is their plan. If the customer tells you, I don't have an address, I don't have a place yet, I'm going to Hawaii or I'm going to Kansas or wherever they're going to find a place, then we let them know that from that point of pickup, they have up to 30 days for free in storage, and past that, we charge them storage fees. Okay? So we have to explain that to the customer, and if they don't understand, then we have to go ahead and explain to them one more time that from the point of pickup, they have 30 days of free storage, and after that 30 day, they will get a storage bill. If the customer does provide you with a first available delivery date and they have an address, then we contact them 14 days afterwards to let them know what's the status of the shipment. Okay? And then we let them know exactly what's going on. We keep them up to date, informed. And then our third follow up is 21 days after the items have been picked up, and we inform them what's the location of the items and what's going on. Now, if the customer is proceeding and they already have a ready for delivery date, then once we actually have a trip that's going to their destination, then we do a loading confirmation. Okay, the loading confirmation, we call them to let them know that we want to load their items into a container or a vehicle and it's going out for delivery. At this point, we give them a window of delivery. And the reason why we give a window of delivery is because they're consolidated moves. And we don't know exactly what the delivery date is going to be because we don't know when we're getting that container. We don't know when the crew is actually opening and starting to deliver that container. But we do have a general idea as to from where to when we're going to be delivering. And we call the customer a call 1 day before we plan to deliver. If the customer says and agrees to the dates that we're providing the loading confirmation, then the job leaves, and then we'll call here for a delivery live call, which is like the pickup live call to make sure that there's no problems or there's no questions or no confusions. However, if they decline the loading confirmation, and let's say they're ready for delivery date was 9/20, for an example, then that automatically gets taken off of our system and the customer goes into storage. Keep in mind, they have to pay for storage because we could be well over the 30 days for free from the point of pickup. So we have to explain to the customer storage charges are applying and their ready for delivery date that they had originally, it's no longer good, and their ready for delivery date has to be reinstated. Okay? Going back to delivery, if the customer is going to be accepting their delivery, let's say they get a call on 9/20 and the delivery is 9/21st. On 9/21st, we call the customer, let them know that we are aware that the delivery is happening that day. We want to make sure they have no questions, make sure that they have no problems. If we call and the customer is not delivered yet, but the crew is on its way, then we go ahead and set a reminder to call them a few hours later to see if we catch them while the movers are there to make sure that there are no questions or confusions. A lot of the times, the customer's only feedback to us will be if there's any lost items or damaged items. If there's any lost or damaged items, we go ahead and send them here to the claims department. If they purchase insurance, we send them to the purchase insurance department. Okay, and they take care of this from there on. After we've sent this information in, our next step is to send it to survey. Survey is basically to gather all the information of the customer's experience to make sure that we learn from each shipment of what's happened and what the customers are giving us as feedback. So that would be the entire flow from the day the job is booked to the day it's delivered to a survey.